Tencent and the Guillemot brothers Ubisoft buyout reportedly held up by dispute over control. Guillemot family hopes to retain leadership while Tencent vying for greater influence over future board decisions. Look, man, we've talked about this over the past couple of days, so I'm not going to deep dive this. We're going to be done with the news after this one, and we're going to hop in here and start doing some Ray-classed Path of Exile 2 stuff. Man, I'm so stoked. I can't get enough of this game, dude. But we all know, or anybody that is around here very often and does the news segments, anybody that it keeps up with the video gaming industry as a whole in some capacity has probably been aware that Ubisoft has been struggling for a number of years now, right? And as I have said for a couple of years, I think if a big company was going to sell soon, it would probably be Ubisoft because they have been hurting for a while. I personally believe that the Guillemot family being at the top of this company is to their detriment. I don't think these people know what good video games are. We've seen so many of these big companies falter under executives that aren't actual video game players. They're not great video game minded people. They're just business-minded individuals that think that they know what's best for the product, and they suck at it. When you talk about somebody like Yves Guillemot here, who wants to come out with a quote about their Skull and Bones game, right, and defend a AAA price tag when we all knew that that game was not going to be great, and call it a quadruple A game, homie made up an entirely new tier of video game development, which it wasn't even close to, by the way. That in and of itself tells you who these people are. And I won't even get into all the ins and outs of what the process was of that game and all the delays and how many years it took to get it out and all the stuff we knew about it in the first place. Everybody that knew anything about that game through its development process knew it wasn't going to be great, knew that it was going to be microtransaction heavy, knew that they didn't care about player base, and that's why they were selling it at a AAA price point to try to recoup development costs, right? And then you've got this guy, the executive, the CEO of the company, defending the AAA price point, calling it a quadruple A game. My God. I don't think you need to know anything more. And that's why if Tencent is going to buy this company, these individuals need to be gone. They don't need to have anything to do with the executive decisions happening in this company anymore. It's almost like they've just they're trying to like cling to, they're like, oh, well, this is our baby, and it's like, you're killing your baby, dude. You're drowning your baby, It, at one point was doing very well, but dude, Ubisoft has been hurting for a long time. And I truly believe the Guillemot family is it's like a festering void of just, they're crushing this company, dude. I do think it would be way better off under another owner and them not having anything to do with the management of it. Ubisoft's two biggest shareholders continue to discuss a potential buyout that would take the Assassin's Creed publisher private, but a new report suggests there's disagreement over control of the business going forward. Sources close to the matter told Reuters that the Guillemot Brothers Limited, run by the family of the same name, including Ubisoft co-founder and long-serving CEO Yves Guillemot, hopes to retain the control it currently has over Ubisoft after the deal is done. What? Is that not just like the stupidest notion? They're like, oh yeah, we want you to buy the company, but we're going to retain control of it. What? However, Tencent is said to be holding off taking part in the buyout and increasing its stake in Ubisoft until it has been promised a greater influence when it comes to future board decisions. The discussions between the two are ongoing, in part to help prevent any other investor performing a hostile takeover of Ubisoft. With Reuters' sources claiming Tencent plans to bide its time and wait for the Guillemot family to agree to its conditions. Tencent declined Reuters' request for comment, while the Guillemot family did not respond. Word of a potential buyout first emerged in October following various financial stumbles at Ubisoft, including the lower-than-expected performance of Star Wars Outlaws. A minority shareholder even called for Ubisoft to go private after the publisher's share price fell drastically in the wake of Outlaws' launch. In September, Ubisoft reduced its financial targets for the current year, delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows to February of 2025, and kicked off an internal review into how to improve the company's performance. Like many companies in the games industry, Ubisoft has also been downsizing. Last week, it announced the closure of 2 studios attached to X-Defiant, which I honestly thought was a pretty decent game. They needed to do better with keeping cheaters out, stuff like that, but it was a pretty solid game, actually, which is shutting down next year. Honestly, I think it had too short of a leash. It was only out for 6 months, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're shutting it down. They had to know that at this time of the year, the player base was going to dwindle very hard because of Call of Duty coming out. Any FPS out there at all, the player base just shrivels whenever Call of Duty comes out because everybody goes and plays it. Back in October, it also disbanded the team behind Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. So, I don't know, man. This is just ridiculous to me that they expect some company to come bail them out, buy out a majority share of Ubisoft, and then still retain control of all the decisions and executive oversight of what's happening in the company. And honestly, I think it's for the better if they're not a part of it anymore, in my opinion. I just don't think they're very good gaming-minded people, to be honest. Oh, man.